Great. My name is Nitika Parmar, and currently I'm a faculty in the biology program at Cal State Channel Islands. The favorite part of my job is actually there's multiple parts, but I think the number one would be the interaction with the students. And when I say interaction, it is face to face.
And when you were young, what did you dream of becoming?
Actually, when I was young, and I think I'm still young,
Yes, I agree.
I dreamt of becoming a medical doctor. And I think I would have become a great doctor, but the sight of blood made me pretty weak. And that's the time I realized that this is not going to work for me if I cannot even handle blood. So that was the end of my medical doctor pathway. But then I stuck close to it and went into another doctor pathway, which is a PhD program.
If you could go back and give some advice to your undergraduate self, what would you say?
I would say two things. Number one is keep your life simple. But at the same time, I would also say, which is very, very important, in fact, I would say this to every STEM student or every student, is know your foundation and know your basics very well. There is absolutely no point learning a very complicated class if your basics and your foundational principles are weak.
Can you give me something specific that a basic might be?
Certainly, since I do a lot of lab classes, my lab classes particularly involve cell culture, where we need to do a lot of calculations, because if you're off, so let's say you're treating some cells like cancer cells, which is what I work on, with some drug, and if you don't have your basic calculations clear, then you may really not be able to understand, what's the dosage, what's the concentration I need to treat my cells with. And students, 99% of the students really make a mistake there. They are off by a factor of 10 or 100, and in biology, being off by a factor of 10 or 100 can be a matter of life and death.
What are 3 key study strategies you recommend for STEM majors?
One is study with a partner or a team of not more than 3 or 4 students together. That can make a huge difference because students can really bounce the ideas off each other. Number 2 is keeping up with the class schedule, and essentially for everything that is taught in the class, go back home and do your reading within a span of 4 to 5 days. Don't push it back to 3 or 4 weeks and study the material only when the quiz is around the corner. That is a disaster recipe for really understanding the concept. And 3, make sure that you're not shy in approaching your professor and asking him or her to clear your doubts. So these are the 3 things I would mention.
How easy is it for a student to come in and meet with you?
I have an open door policy and I have office hours, and I'm extremely flexible in terms of meeting students over Zoom, which is digital, and I make myself available during the weekends also and during the nights. So we do have email conversations, Zoom conversations, Skype conversations consistently, particularly for students who cannot make it during my office hours. So I'm pretty open to making myself available to the students.
As an undergraduate student, what classes did you struggle with the most and why?
If I had to choose one class which I struggled with, I would say history.
How would you advise a student who found something boring to get through it and to do their best?
So students have to be given a space to understand why what they're studying is very important in terms of application in the real world, because that's how they connect. How is this important for me? Whether it's for the environment, it's for me, it's for my job, it's for my health, and so forth. So that application perspective is very critical.
If you could change one thing about your undergraduate career, what would it be?
Wonderful question. I've gone over this myself, and if I had to redo it, I would still do science. In fact, science is in my blood. I love biology. But when I was 19, I think I would have loved to take these extra curricular non-science dance classes or an art class to really bring the artist out in me. I got the scientist out of my heart, but my artist is still sleeping, so I need to really wake that aspect up too.
How is research important to students' academic development as an undergrad?
You have really hit the nail on the target here. Whenever I meet a biology student, at least on this campus, I always tell them they absolutely need to do some kind of research. They can do dry literature-based research, they can do wet lab work in the lab, but they must do some kind of a research. To me, it actually does not hold any or does not make any sense for a student to be a biologist without having any research experience under their belt. It just does not make any sense. And in fact, I would go on to say that they should approach faculty while they're a freshman or a sophomore. Talk to faculty, discuss the projects, and absolutely get involved in research. I cannot even emphasize how very important research is. And I'm sure we can find projects for them.
Did you conduct research as an undergraduate student?
I did. That was in India, and I worked on several aspects of plant biotechnology and also genetic engineering.
How can students make the most of their Cal State University Channel Islands undergraduate experience?
Talk to faculty. Join clubs such as biology, chemistry, physics clubs. Take active roles in them. Join societies. Apply for as many scholarships as you can. There's several of them that we talk about. Always look for research opportunities. There's a number of summer research programs that we offer. And make it a point that when they do research, if they do research, make it a point to really step out of their comfort zone and make a presentation of their research, either as a poster or a talk. There's no point doing research and not presenting it. That's only half of the story. So I would say communication is key. They need to talk to faculty. They need to talk to students who've already done research and can also provide them some feedback. So that would be very useful for our students.
How important has mentorship been in your career?
Extremely important. In fact, I've always sought out mentors, whether it's a professional level or a personal level, because I think getting words of wisdom from a person who has seen more experiences than you in your life can be very, very useful. And particularly, I would go on to say I did mentor a large number of students here, and I make an effort to really encourage students who probably don't have enough facilities or enough finances or enough intellectual acumen to really go forward in life. Those are the students I really like to work with because they are the ones who need mentoring the most. So I think mentoring is very, very critical for academic success.
Why is it important to establish and encourage an environment which fills STEM careers with diverse individuals?
Because I think STEM careers are all over the place. In fact, the earth would not work if there were no STEM careers. So really tapping into the diversity is very, very key for us to really involve each and every student in this realm of science, giving them equal opportunities and making sure that they have all the skills and all the opportunities to really advance themselves. So diverse, the whole world is diverse today. California is probably the most diverse state in the globe today. And that should be practiced all over the world. Unfortunately, it's not happening, but that should happen because the students are the next generation leaders. So if they learn to live with other students, in an amicable spirit, I think the world will become a much better place.
What advice would you give parents to help them encourage their students to continue on STEM pathways?
I would say the key is listen to the students, listen to the children, what they are trying to say from their heart, understanding what their heart is, and not being overly terrified about the students stepping out of their comfort zone. That is very important. Let the students step out of their comfort zone. That's how they'll grow. Go where your heart takes you. But I would add a caveat to that. Go where your heart takes you within the boundaries of practicality and logic. So if I had children, I would advise them, look at what is really important in the world today. There's no point choosing a career just because your heart wants to take to that career. If there's absolutely no application, there's no job market, what's the point of learning something when you're not able to apply it? So I would say, yes, listen to your heart, but then also see, will the longing of my heart be satisfied by opportunities that are available to me? So that's what I would say. Use your intelligence, use your wisdom. If you want a career path, make sure there is room for people in that particular career area.